We are back. It's another show, Long Island Changemakers, with your boy, the one and only, the nonprofit sector connector. I got to just make a quick shout out. The first ever episode of this show, we had Dr. Christine Radowitz and Dr. Ellen Morris Tiegerman from Tiegerman. And just last week, I picked up some new gear. I got the Calvin Klein hoodie, the Tommy Hilfiger. This is corduroy, the corduroy hat at the retail store that they have in Richmond Hill, Queens, in the Tiegerman High School in Richmond Hill, Queens. And I was able to meet some great people there. And these young people in high school are learning all these different skills in retail and connecting with the public. And I'll tell you that the experience was great. But I also got a bucket hat. Also got a Calvin Klein bucket hat. And that's just, I got to tell everybody. I just got to tell everybody because I got cool stuff. And the price was right. Today we have my friend, a mentor to me in a lot of ways. Tildet Varon is here. Tildet, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's, I know you a long time. We've done cool stuff together. You would always say to me, Tommy, would you come to this event that I'm speaking at and read my bio and do the introduction? And I have a story to tell about us, but maybe I'm going to tell it. It's interesting how we have people in our lives who can help us see the blind spots, if you will, you know, can help us see, in this case, help us see what the world sees, but we might not see. And I remember this time, and I know you know the story because I've told you about it 100 times, but I remember this time where it's like 8 o'clock at night, I'm sitting in the Starbucks parking lot, and we had done one of your sessions that morning, and you had asked me to introduce you, and this was before philanthropy and focus was a thing, and I would make comments like, you know, Tildet, it's not really what I do. You know, that's not what I do. I don't stand in front of the room and like motivate and connect and do it. That's not really what I do. And you, as only you could say, you said, Tommy, may I? Do you mind if and I said, sure, Tildet, anything. And you said, Tommy, I think you need to stop saying that because that's exactly what you do. And that sticks with me only every day because, and I said it recently on another program I was talking about, like I had myself in this little box thinking that I was like, I'm a sales guy and that's what I do. And this is like, now I realize as individuals, we have so many different things that we can do.
Yes, and every time you tell the story, I feel so grateful, and I'm so happy I had the courage to share that with you.
If you didn't, who knows, right? Who knows?
Yes, and that is true friendship. That is true support, right? When we see something and we know someone has the potential, the opportunity to grow, I always will jump in and support because I want to support everyone to bring out to the world their magnificence. And I say I get very selfish because if everyone is bringing out their magnificence, my world would be magnificent.
Yes, I love how that's selfish to you. That's an interesting way to look at that. You hook everybody else up, and yeah, I love that.
Yes, it's important to me that we all help each other because I truly believe in the interdependence of humanity and how we can truly impact each other and support each other, elevate each other, and wouldn't it be a much better world if we did that?
Yes. Yeah, period. Yes, period. Yes, it would.
Yes.
I think, you know, there's another story I always tell about you that I knew about you, but I didn't know who you were. But like, we used to be a member of a networking group, right? And it was like this thing, and back then I was like trying to be everywhere and trying to be, and I had this thing called FOMO, which I still never got rid of. I think if you take penicillin, maybe it goes away. But like, I had fear of missing out like all the time, and you had done this was a thing you did, I think annually, where it was like a rose garden party, right? Like you grow your roses. And I would get these emails because we were in this group and there was a lot of people in the group. And I remember when I was in that group, we'd end up at the beach networking, we'd end up at a museum networking, and that was kind of what went on with that group. And in this case, I never got to see the roses.
Yes.
So talk about that, because that's how I knew of you.
Yes, that was, I had a 90-bush rose garden.
90 bushes.
In my backyard. So I learned about life, about myself, and about others through my roses. And then I started doing these rose banquets where 40, 50 people will come to my rose garden and will eat roses, drink roses.
Really?
Yes, I cooked for everyone.
Get out of here.
And I love cooking.
Yeah.
And I made all kinds of rose teas. And then we talked about the theme through the metaphor of the rose. So to me, the rose represents the whole humanity in the unfolding. And then each of us, a beautiful, unique rose, different color, different petals, different scents, different sizes. And we all have a rose garden in us. In some parts of our lives we're blooming, some parts need pruning, some parts are in bud, some parts are just unfolding.
Yeah.
And then I said that all the gardeners will come together at my rose banquets and we would talk about what makes your garden so beautiful.
How effective was that?
It was very effective. I since moved out of that house, I'm still getting a lot of requests.
Are you?
Yes.
So you had 90. Do you have any rose bushes now?
Yes, I do, but
Okay.
not 90.
Not 90.
I will never have 90. I learned my lessons. Now I do less, achieve more.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, so you don't necessarily need 90.
You don't need 90. Let me teach you all.
Yeah.
3 would be enough.
Yeah.
But I still love them so much. I think I have above 10 still,
You
but
do.
not 90.
So,
yes.
okay, do you have different varietals?
Different varieties, and I love English roses, the scent and all that.
What is, so, the thing that's wild, I think, about like plants and fruits and vegetables, like if you Google apples, and how many apples there are.
Yes,
it's unbelievable.
so many.
And even tomatoes, and
Yes.
there's so many different varieties
Yes.
of stuff, and that we never, that like a lot of us don't always see. Like you see the common thing, and then
Yes, and you also think when you smell a rose, the rose has one scent.
Yeah,
The rose has citrus, it has raspberry, it has musk,
Really?
so many different. And to me also the beauty of it is I'm always relating it because I love people.
Yeah.
So I'm always relating it back to people. So some roses have a lot of thorns, they're prickly.
Yeah.
Some roses have no thorns, some roses have a thorn here and there. So it is just like people, depending on their DNA, where they grew up, what happened. Some of us can be more prickly.
Yes.
Some of us less prickly. We can be a thorn to others. Others can be a thorn to us. But what I learned from my rose garden is how do we get tools so that we can give the care each rose, each person deserves. So if I'm going to a very prickly rose, I'm not going to go with bare hands. I'm going to make sure I'm wearing my long gloves. I have the tools to handle that rose and give the love and the care so it continues to bloom. But if I go with those thick gloves to a tiny little rose with no thorns, I'll crush it. So I need to take it out and be tender, be gentle. And that is a lot more lessons that my roses taught me about people.
How did you, so, you know, I have 4 children, and as you were talking, I was thinking about interactions with some of my children there. And if we approach a rose or a human being, having prepared for that conversation and connection, we're better off. They're better off, we're better off, right?
Yes, I always say, Tommy, I think we talked about this, the most dangerous conversations are the ones we don't have. Anytime we don't approach someone, and it's not always easy, not because we don't care, because we care so much and we don't want to hurt them, or we don't want to create conflict, or we don't want them to disconnect from us. We try to keep everything, you know, walking around eggshells and trying to, is this right, is this not right? If we approach, and that's where communication is really important, if communication with care, with courage, and with clarity, and curiosity.
My goodness, you know I love alliteration. So that's all the care, courage, curiosity,
And clarity.
and clarity. Wow. You know, I'm thinking about somebody in my life right now, and this person has some behavioral stuff going on, and I want to figure out a way to engage, but it's sometimes it can be difficult. But if you go in, you said curiosity.
Curiosity.
I love curiosity. I love that specifically because I think if we meet people with curiosity and let them, as a rose, open up and talk.
Yes, and you know, also if we can release our judgments, which is not so easy to do, especially if they're family members. If they're family members, what happens is we have expectations.
Yeah.
We have assumptions. We have past resentments. We have locked in roles. Or we said this child is always like that, and this one is this child, and that one is this, and we do this for all the family members, not only for our children. Now we lock everyone.
That's who they are.
That's
right?
who they are. Like what you said at the very beginning when I told you about your blind spot and making you look at yourself. So how do we offer an invitation to someone to talk and to realize that they're accepted exactly the way they are, and this conversation is not about a criticism or a judgment. It's about support, it's about connection, it's about understanding. You know, about a month ago, as you know, I was in Kenya, and in Kenya we were 80 people from 20 different countries.
Wow.
And about 15 of those countries were countries in Africa. And people that I would never meet if I wasn't in this nonviolent communication training. What I learned there, so there were different religions, different colors, different ages, different cultures, all different. When we connected through our communication, everything dropped. We connected heart to heart, human being to human being, and what I lived there really changed me. I lived the Ubuntu, you know, you are me and I am you. I literally saw me in each person and they saw themselves in me.
When you say that, when you say you saw yourself in each person, do you mean you looked and you saw traits and actions of that person that you could relate to what you do?
Yes, that's a good question. It's even beyond that.
Okay.
It is, I saw that just like me, that person also wants love. Just like me, that person needs acceptance. Just like me, they're struggling here or there. Just like me, they are here to make a difference in the world. Just like me, contribution is important to them. Just like me, and then everything, all that is different goes away, and now you're connected to understand, to help, to care, to collaborate.
Don't we all have so much more in common than we don't have in common? Like, I feel like in the grouping of people is, I think our brain, it's very easy for our brain to group things together, right? So I think that's like a survival kind of mechanism.
Yes.
Right? But then there's like, if we just saw everybody as the individual and made that connection.
It's not easy though, right? It's easier said than done. Because we are so busy and so caught up in our doing, we're forgetting our being. And if we just paused and really look to see each other, first we need to look to see ourselves, never mind each other, to see who am I, what do I need, and to make that connection so that I can connect to you better. It's not easy because we're in such a fast-paced world.
Yeah.
Change is happening so rapidly. We feel for survival, we need to catch up. So we're always doing, what's next, what's next, what's next? So it's not as easy to reflect or to get together to see each other and to see ourselves than see each other. And I think that comes through training. It comes through surrounding ourselves with people that are practicing that intentionally, having the growth mindset to do differently, and really wanting, you know, we all want a better world, but we need to stop and think, what does that mean? How do we achieve a better world, whether it is with our families, whether with our neighbors, our city, our country, globally? Right? Oh, we're going into like deep conversation.
This is wonderful. So I'm outside the other day and I'm listening to Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Yes.
And I'm listening to it on Audible, and he's talking about and I'm hearing your voice while I'm listening to him. And I'll tell you why. Because he's talking about, to get these outcomes, we have to be a different person. And I've heard this 1,000 different ways from different people. But all of a sudden, you and I are collaborating, so all of a sudden while I'm listening to this, because we've been together on meetings and stuff so much lately, I'm going, oh my God, Tildet keeps saying be, do, have. She keeps saying that, and I'm hearing him say that, and it's who you have to be.
Yes.
I want to ask you this, because this is really an important part of what's going on with you. You have the new book coming out soon. Just tell me the title of the book.
The title of the book is The Thriving Family Business, Celebrating Peace at the Table and Profits to the Balance Sheet.
So the thriving family business.
Yes.
So communication critically important, right?
Very.
And who do you have to be to have a successful business, right? That's a big part of. And let's go back if we could. Why is this topic even important to you?
Well, this is more than a project for me. It's a promise made at a painful chapter of my life, and you know a little bit about the story. I was born into a family business in Turkey, and it was a very successful business that my father started, and at the peak we employed over 300 employees, so it was a big business. And my father started with lots of love, dedication, hard work, yet we lost the business. It crumbled up. And in 2008, did I not only lose my dad, we lost the family business, I lost my marriage, I lost everything in 2008. And the reason I'm saying this, because is my father called me and said, we're done. He was in Turkey, I was in the States at the time. He said, the business is done. And I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. Please explain more. And the next day he died. He had kidney failure, but I think the stress expedited and whatever happened. And I made a promise that I understood that no matter how dedicated family businesses are and how much love there is, hard work there is, if there is no communication, no structures in place for the safety of the business, no modernization, no changing of the old ways to adapt to the new, the businesses can crumble. And I made a promise, a quiet promise to my dad, that his success was not going to end in loss. That I was going to take everything that was done and not done, everything we knew and did not know, and I will make sure that I really understood the rewards and challenges of family businesses and not let this ever happen to another family business.
Thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I want to get into, we were talking this morning, and a family business can be such a blessing.
Yes.
And it can be super challenging.
Yes.
And we talked about family businesses that make it to that fourth generation.
Yes.
And you know, we were talking actually somebody you've done some collaboration with who's in that fourth generation.
Yes.
And something you said to me this morning was this piece about, I'm trying to set you up so you could say it. It was the thing where like the older folks in the family business don't want to use a certain technology, but remember that, how we talked about that? Tell me that.
Well, there is, you know, what we're facing in family business is a lot of generational gaps as they are going into second, third, fourth generation, if they're lucky enough, because only 30% of family businesses make it to second generation and 12 to third. And to fourth is very little percentage. So what's happening is the founders, or the older generations, the boomers and Generation X, they grew up differently than the millennials and Generation Z coming in. So the boomers and Generation X, they were told, work hard. They were told, business comes first. Emotions are in private. You just work hard. You dedicate yourself. Legacy, loyalty, their values were work hard, legacy, loyalty, and because they were post-war families, they were raising them. They were dealing with economical instabilities. I think every generation in a way deals with that. But then came millennials and Generation Z, and they came in a rapid change of the world. There is mental health awakening happening. We're talking more about things, and they were told meaning is important, purpose is important, do what you love, go after what's meaningful for you. Your well-being is great. So now millennials and Generation Z is not willing to sacrifice their well-being for a paycheck. So now we have two generations or three generations or four generations valuing different things, and they are hearing each other through the filter of what they know.
Right, because you still have this lens, right? Like I see the world through my lens, and not only individuals, of course, but just the generations have.
Exactly. And when we bring this out, like we're talking right now, that an awareness of that, oh, I'm looking at through this lens, and a shift can happen. Because if an older generation comes and says, we've always done it this way, a younger generation may hear it, here we go, he doesn't trust me, he doesn't want me to change anything in the business.
But he didn't say that, right?
He didn't say that.
I heard that. But he didn't say that.
He didn't say that. That's where the clarity.
And he didn't mean that.
No.
Right.
It was heard that way.
He meant we always do it this way.
Yes.
Period. With no emotion, maybe, right?
Yes.
But then there's the disruptive opportunity for the younger generation to say, well, I'm curious.
Yes.
Why did we always do it this way?
Exactly.
And
or the older generation to bring more clarity and be a little vulnerable and say, you know, we've always done it this way and it brought us success. If we change it, I'm afraid. What would happen?
Right. So is that often the conversations that you find yourself in?
I find myself, people not wanting to have these conversations, and with my nudge and facilitation, they are getting comfortable in having those conversations because we're normalizing these conversations. It's all about normalizing. Normalizing the differences, normalizing anxiety, normalizing fears, normalizing mental health. Everything is about normalizing. In fact, I just made I think you would like this. I just made a little video clip for social media. I said, I would like to normalize getting triggered for leadership.
What does that mean, getting triggered? Who's getting triggered?
Let's say your child did something to you and you get upset, and you don't want to talk about it, or someone makes a mistake and you get angry, you don't want to talk about it. It's not about not being triggered. We're human beings. We're going to get angry, we're going to get anxious, we're going to get fearful.
So it's owning that it's going to happen, that this is going
This is going to happen. It's normal that it will happen. What is really important is how we respond to it.
Yes.
Not that we shouldn't have it. So what happens is that when we get like that, we put the mask on, everything is okay, but inside there's so much tension. Now you touch me, I jump.
Yes.
and if I was able to say, this is normal, you know,
Yeah.
right now, my feeling concerned about my child, my feeling frustrated, or my hesitation to bring change to the business is real.
Yeah.
But let me get curious. Let me understand what's going on here. Let me ask the questions. Let me really listen not only to words, but what is in between words as well.
So, okay, so, you know, I see a therapist twice a week, and I bring that up to say, like, we have these cognitive distortions that he and I work through. It's like a list of 10, and one of them is mind reading. Another one is all or nothing thinking.
Yes.
And, like, these are things like, so it's not, it's one thing to, that I, through my lens, I think you're saying something. It's even worse when I create extra stuff that that was not there at all.
Yes, now you're piling up, creating a wall.
Yeah.
Now how is the other person gonna go in, or are we gonna get out?
Right, and then the other thing is
Either
too, you
way.
kind of like, sometimes, and I'll just say in relationships in my life, I expect somebody to be a certain way, so I've already built up my own junk.
Yes,
you know?
yes. So I think these are very important things. And also, like in my family, I was brought up, my father, one of the things that, you know, cautious tales about my father was he didn't like conflict. So I grew up avoiding conflict.
Sure.
No matter what, we smiled.
Yeah.
No matter what, we sat at the dinner
But then
table.
it's festering, and then the bad things are festering.
Yes, yes.
So that's, so we don't know. We have to find out how people grew up and what their concerns are.
What happened?
Yeah.
Why are you not talking to me? Why are you talking to me?
Right.
Let me understand you better.
I love that.
Yes, and you know, the world is changing. We're getting constantly bombarded with so much information, and those informations can impact each of us differently.
I have to ask you one question because we're almost out of time.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Tildet.com, TILDET.com.
Yes.
And there's the family-owned business assessment. What else do you want people to do? How do you want them to connect with you?
They can always go. Email me, tildet@tildet.com. Once you get my name, Tildet,
I know.
the rest is easy. There is a family business health assessment, which I really recommend for family business leaders, because they will get a better sense of where they are in their business and what they can do to sustainably grow or thrive. Thrive is our goal.
100% thrive.
Yes, yes.
And if they want to connect with you, Tildet at tildet.com.
Yes.
And then, you know, we'll be able to share different things with people going forward. For sure.
Yes, a lot to share.
I love it. It's super exciting. I'm excited that the book's coming out. Thanks for being here on the show with me today, Tildet. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me here.
You're very welcome. Everybody, this is just an exciting episode for sure. Long Island Changemakers, a friend, a mentor, and just so many cool things. And I know for a fact that by being connected to Tildet, my own transition into different parts of what I do has happened, and I appreciate you for that, Tildet. Thank you all for being here. This is just another In Focus production. I'll see you guys later. Bye now.